Amen. And the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Washington County Board of Supervisors, 9th session with the Honorable Board President Carmen D. preside.
Okay, now that everybody has their mics on the agenda, number 18, we're going to remove number 18. I have one addition as well. Ms. Brooks wanted an addition. Energy what, Ms. Brooks?
It's an energy efficiency revolving loan fund program with MDA, Mississippi Development Authority.
All right, that's an addition. Anyone else? Yes. Energy. If there's no one else, I need a motion
So moved.
and a second.
Second.
All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. That's unanimous. Ms. Holmes. And the minutes. Questions, comments, deletions, additions?
So moved. to
I
approve.
got a motion. Need a second.
Second.
And a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Motion carried. I got one nay.
Yeah.
One nay, Ms. Brooks.
I have
Ms.
a question. Does
Come
it
on.
include both sets of minutes or one set of minutes?
Now let me do the other set. The first set we did was on the 20th, the board meeting itself. We had a special call meeting. On those minutes, I need an approval for that one as well.
So moved.
And a second. And a second. Got properly moved and seconded. Any questions? Comments? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous on that one. Mr. Burford.
Happy Monday.
How you doing?
Morning.
Have 911 expenditures for the month of May. The total is $31,126.85.
Motion to approve?
So moved.
And
Second.
All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Anything else, Dave?
Yes, sir. I wanted to give y'all an update on the communications for the outdoor warning sirens.
Got it.
Since our last meeting, when the reverse auction didn't go so well, I have since found out that Ms. radios are on a state contract EPL, so we can actually buy those ourselves on that. Got one quote, I'm waiting on another. All that is though is for the radios. We'll also need antennas, installation, and 3 circuit boards for the Wheeling sirens. They don't take regular box radios. There's a circuit board that you have to buy to put in that. So I'm waiting on quotes from that as well. So hopefully by the next board meeting, I'll have all that in and we can go ahead and pull the trigger on that and get that started.
I have a question. Do you think the quotes, they won't be over 75,000, I take it?
No.
Okay, good.
Any other questions? Need a motion?
What do you?
No.
Oh.
No request on anything, right? Yet he said he.
Anything else, David?
Yes, sir. I've got EMR, Emergency Medical Response Team, has put together a list of supplies they need. I've got 2 quotes. One quote is from Life Assist. That quote is $9,875.33. And I have a second quote from CPR Savers, and that quote is $12,146.88.
This is for the volunteers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is a budgeted item.
I move we go to Lois.
Second.
And it's properly moved and seconded. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have, ladies and gentlemen.
Any question for David?
Thank you, David.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
County
Have a
Engineer,
great
Ms.
day.
Anderson.
Good morning.
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 For last month, you see on the list of bridges, currently we're working on Fair Road. We did have the contractor to open the bridge up temporarily because we put gravel on the approaches and the traffic will help it on the compaction. Also on the DHS building, for the floor project. The contractor has ordered materials. It will probably be around 7 to 8 weeks, but we'll keep the board updated on the progress of that. Also on the Washington County roof project, they're complete right now. We're just going through the warranty information on that.
Okay.
And also, I had emailed everyone a copy of this. This is the list of bridges that the board had already previously approved. But we need to contact them and submit it to the state. They requested that we put it in the minutes with an email. You don't have to put all the forms, but if the minutes just reflect all the bridges is separated from the LSBP and SABP. So
Everybody, go ahead, Lee.
Now, you're talking about all of the LSBP
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
SABP.
yeah.
On those, Lorenzo, now, are all of those, all the bridges that qualify for that? Do we have any other bridges that we still lack that qualify for LSBP
oh,
and
yeah,
stuff?
we have plenty of those.
Okay, and I guess, so what you're asking for is just to approve these to move forward on replacing these bridges on here, or
yes.
just that they qualify for it?
We want to go ahead and start the process to get it funded for it. What we have to do, the process is, which the board already approved that list. We was talking about the format that we submitted to, because when we checked the minutes, it just said, approval of bridges, but they wanted in that
They want
format.
a detail on what
Right,
bridges
yeah,
there are.
right. They want the detail of like the bridge number, also the SBP number, project number. So it was the format, and then all these forms
Yeah.
that we have to submit to them.
Yeah, and yeah, I understand that, but what I'm saying is, when we talked about this the last time, because like, I think on one of these.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It wasn't set in stone.
Yeah, because
right.
like, we talked about it, because like Cox Road probably wouldn't be, I'd like to kind of see which ones I'd like to, for priority, which one's first and which one's second, but because like Cox Road, that would probably not be one of my, the first ones that I would replace, and which ones qualify. So I'd like to have a list of which, out of, each one of our districts, if I've got 4 bridges out, which ones qualify for LSBP or whatever.
Back
or-
up, okay, you're off of that. You're too close to the mic, but go ahead. You
Oh,
good?
I'm
You
too
good?
close to it.
But anyway,
You were, but you're good now.
but I'd just like to have a list showing what, that way I can kind of say, hey, Lorenzo, I want this, and this one.
There'll be no problem, because this process is called the program part.
Okay.
Like, we were programming where the state, they take all of the counties and they program thousands of bridges
Right.
every 4 years, and then you can always deprogram or add to the program if the funding is there.
On this particular one, even
Yes.
these, we
Yes,
can
yes,
add or take away.
Yeah, you can add or take
Okay.
away.
Gotcha.
All right,
So
Ms.
moved.
Bernadine, you wanted to,
Yes,
go ahead.
we request,
Can't hear you.
to send email everyone in the clerk's office needs hard copy.
Right.
Need to give it a hard
Just
copy.
give it to 'em.
You just gave it to her.
Just that,
Okay then,
that's the form.
we got that. Let me say this, board. I'd like to take a little time to reflect and review this list. Let me be clear, we've got one bridge on it that's in my district that's already about to be rebuilt. And it's on the list. So there's no need for them to be involved in that bridge. I'd like to, like Lee said, hold it in abeyance or just delay this until we can actually review and look and prioritize what we want to make sure that the bridges that are listed are bridges you want that are priority for you.
I have a question, Mr. President.
Yeah.
He said he gave this to the board last week. Was it detailed in our
Yeah,
last board meeting? Was
right.
it detailed at the last board meeting
It was in April.
in April?
No, I don't remember this. Because if I had the bridge I'm talking about, I would have picked up on this, Ms. Brooks. And I would like to have more time to review this.
All right.
Like I said,
I
one of
would-
these bridges, excuse me, Mr. Anderson,
Okay.
is already about to be repaired.
Mr.
It's-
Upper, Mr.
It's, you gotta let me finish.
I'm
Okay, thank you, here. It's the bridge up off Huntington Point. We've moved the equipment in, we've gotten the release from the levee board, and we've got a request in to have the utilities move with the electrical system.
Mr. Anderson, can you get all of us a copy of all the bridges so we'll be all on the same page? So the next board meeting, we can move forward on this because I don't go without my bridges not being repaired. Because I remember it was in District 4.
This is, we've already went through that.
I understand that, but apparently some of them didn't read the paper when you passed it out.
Oh,
So I'm asking you to send it back out to us so at the next board meeting, we can move forward and start the process for the 2024, 2025 year on getting our bridges repaired.
We have a meeting in June, so I was trying to get this before that meeting so we could talk with the
June
state.
what?
June, the week of the supervisors meeting, the county engineers have a meeting down there on the coast. So I was trying to get that, so I could talk to the state engineer, while we were down there. So I was wanting to have a list, it's already approved, I wanted the whole package submitted. That's why I was trying to push, cause you all have to sign this, that's what, it's been along the process where we have to get all your signatures and have the minutes and have all those forms in there, so that's why I was trying to have it approved by
So I
them.
got a question. At the last board meeting, you gave us a breakdown of all
Yes,
the
ma'am, I
roads.
gave you, and the board approved that, it was a list that I emailed, everyone that saw the list, it was before you, and you all approved the list. I was talking about the formatting that we submitting to the state, that's all I was.
Okay, can I get a motion to table?
No, I don't have a, can we do this right here?
Somebody.
Could you go and.
I got a motion.
Point of information, could you go and, before this meeting is over, give us all, come back with a list of everything so we can go over it at this board meeting, so we will be prepared to make sure our bridges are ready when they have the meeting at the, MAS conference. Could you do that when we
Yes,
finish
yes,
here?
ma'am.
Thank you.
Can I get a second? Can I get a sec? I got a second. That's fine. I got a motion and a second to table this to the next meeting. All in favor,
No,
show by sign of aye.
not to the
Aye.
next meeting,
Any
for this
opposed?
meeting.
Any opposed?
I oppose because we tabling this for the next meeting, so we won't be behind
Okay.
on submitting
Motion
our
carries.
application.
Motion
Sir, would
carries.
you still go get the information?
No,
Yes.
it was for
Thank you.
next meeting.
Yeah, for the next
It's for
meeting.
next meeting, he said.
All right, but I still like to
Yeah.
get mine
Yeah. But-
anyway.
but-
Maybe y'all don't wanna read, I
Well,
love to read.
let me do this.
You do what you
Mr.
please.
Anderson, you've been with us how long now?
Since 2020.
That's 5 years, 4 years, going on 5th year. How many bridges have you all built?
We started out with 40 closed bridges.
I don't know, how many have you actually
and
done?
I'm answering your question.
I'm talking Bree
We did.
Street and where you working now.
Okay. We started off with 40 closed bridges. We're down to 21, 22.
How many
So,
have you all done?
Sir, we engineers. I'm tired of going through this with you, Mr.
All right,
McGee.
well, be tired, come back at the next meeting. You got anything
Okay.
else?
I do have one.
Go ahead.
Lorenzo, when you break that down too, put it on there on your list when you're showing it, just by district too, what bridges and, you know, it's what district, that way that we'll see exactly.
We-
Because some of those, you know, on the LSVP and stuff like that, you know, the numbers and stuff, just break that down and put that on there.
We used the bridge plan, you know, we submitted to the state. So that's what we used, the bridge plan that it was like a 75 pages, whatever, that we did for Washington County, we listed all. So I'm just gonna shoot that all to everyone, and then we just go by that list.
All right, road manager. I don't see Mark. He did. Okay,
All right,
planning department.
before we go to road manager, Mr. President, can we talk about the road manager position?
Yeah, we can take an executive session onto the agenda to discuss personnel.
Or was it added to the agenda?
Yeah, we will.
Eventually?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to make that we add it to the agenda and go into executive session. This is my motion.
Give me a
Second.
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 Motion and second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Motion is approved, that's unanimous.
All of it. All of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you, I'm sorry.
For the month of May, the permits issue of 15, and year-to-date is 126. And the monies collected in May was $1,190, and year-to-date is $17,211. Speaking loud enough? And we have a right-of-way for C-Spire for an optic cable to run along US 82, MPNL Road, and Highland Plantation Road, and Producers Drive. And they're asking for permission to use this. It's a right of way.
Oh,
That's you. That's
yeah.
your district.
Yeah, that's me.
So moved to approve.
I need a motion. I got a second. Need a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
We had also put the retention, you have yours.
Yeah, good morning, board. Some time ago, we had asked about clearing up some space because of the permits that we have been accumulating over the 17 years office has been in effect. And it seems like every year we have to get a new file cabinet, you know, for the new fiscal year. And we're running out of room. So we need to know what we need to do with those old permits that we have on file.
Mr. Griffin, what's the amount of time that they have to retain those documents?
Well, most you have to retain for, I believe, 7 years. But let me ask you this question, okay? There's a tendency inside of these offices to go to electronic filing now, all right? Especially those that are not subject to regular public
Can't hear you.
that are not subject to regular public inspection. So, is it possible that we can start an electronic process where you scan them in, and if someone requests a copy, you'll have a printer there to make a copy for them as needed, at cost to that person. So, you know, yeah, so, and that's my question, you know, that electronic filings, electronic retention of records, that is going, you know, that is the process now. Because to try and save that space, all right? At certain offices, obviously, you gotta have hard copies available, like the Chandler Clerk's office. But your office can probably go to electronic filing as an option.
What do they do for immediate release? Do they
Well,
eliminate
we go-
everything several years and older? or what?
My recommendation would go back and review them, and any records, and I'll look at the statute, make certain it's 7 years, and ensure that, you know, you can destroy records, old records, beyond that age.
I had put this in everyone's mailbox. The state of Mississippi local government records retention schedule. I had put this in everybody's mailbox.
Okay, we'll take a look at it.
Okay.
All right. At the next meeting?
We'll take a look at it, and I'll meet with you, you all guys.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
And we need to review at the next meeting. So we can move with this instead of putting it off another month. That okay with you all?
Yes.
It's in my mailbox.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Redmond, you good?
Yes.
Thank you. Justice Court Clerk? Everybody got a copy of the report from the Justice Court Clerk? Anything you want to share with us? Ms.
Yes,
Redmond?
I would. This is my month of retirement. I just want to do a reminder, but I am available in the future if you need me. Ms. Bebette Larry will be taking my place to do what she needs to do to keep the office running until you all make a decision on what you want to do.
All right. Ms.
That's all we have.
Ms. Larry? Appreciate you. You want to address the board?
I want to thank her for letting me have this opportunity to do what she has done. We will continue to go by the guidelines that are already set for the Justice Court. And if you need me, call me, and I know if I need you, I will definitely be calling you.
Miss
All right, we look-
Barbette, say your whole name.
Bebette Larry,
Barbette Larry. How long have you been with the county?
24 years in April.
24 years. Okay.
All right, anyone else? Ms. Larry, we appreciate you willing to step up and take care of this while Ms. Brooks is going into retirement. But if you need us, don't hesitate to give us a shout, and we'll be stopping in. And we look forward to you giving the monthly report.
Yes, sir.
All right,
And thank you.
thank you.
Mr. President, I got
Hey.
one question.
Yes.
Now, when is your last day?
The 30th.
The 30th this month.
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll see you again before that.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Gales,
You all have a great one.
appreciate y'all. Bye-bye. Everybody had a copy of Mr. Gales' report?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Gales, anything in particular? Hey, anything particular you want to share with us?
Oh, no, sir, not this time.
Anything you need from us?
Oh, no, sir.
All right, any questions, Mr. Gales? Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. I don't see Ms. Moore. Ms. Smith? Morning. Yeah, the first thing you need to tell us is about that air conditioning. And the reason I'm saying that, I'm constantly getting raked over the coals for the lack of air conditioning in the convention center. Week in and week out, you know, phone calls and, you know, comments.
It's cold
and
there, huh?
People are really uncomfortable with the conditions that we have them, you know, meeting in and celebrating in at our convention center.
It's cold.
If you would, Mr. Smith.
What's the holdup now?
They wasn't on them, they was trying to bypass using those brass pieces with their industrial side unit, but if they couldn't go around without using those, so they were trying to hook them up, but they would burn it up soon, they put them on, so they end up having to special order those brass pieces, cockpit, so they said they should be in this week sometime.
Okay.
And then, we added that remote, sensor to it, so they had to go through and wire the whole system over. That's the only way we have control on it. Other than that, he probably said the compressor may have last 6 months to a year, because we're going from 0 to 100, we turn it on and off.
If we don't do it the right way.
Really do it the right way.
Let me say, and again, Jeremy's doing all he can do on this situation. Eddie, you've got one of the best people in the area working on it. It's an older system. It's a complicated system, so it is taking some time. So it's really, you know, it's other than getting parts, it's really, I know you're getting raked over the coals for it, but hopefully it'll come to an end soon. But again, you know, it's nothing else that Jeremy could do at this point, or anybody else. So let's just, you know, just hope this will do. But we do need to move on here shortly. As soon as we get this one up and going, we had talked about, you know, taking the other side and redoing that. We probably need to start moving forward with that, because the time you get it all designed, installed, you're probably talking about a year out from that or so. So as soon as we get this one up and going, we probably need to work on that. We got the roof on now, so that's good, but we probably need to start doing that. So let's get this one up. But again, I know you're getting a lot of calls from it, and I've got a few, but hopefully it won't be too much longer. So I know he's doing all he can do on that.
Anything else, Ms. Smith?
We got the error work at the DA office, so it is a positive.
You're right, it is, and we got it at a good price. Any other questions, Mr. Smith?
I do.
Please, Lee.
Down at Paul Love Park, really need to get down there on the grass, and it looks like those garbage cans. I don't know why we changed again. You know, there were some of those on metal cans out there. We took them up. I don't want those down there. I want the ones that we can dump while we're down there with the truck. So get the cans that way they can dump it while they're down there, and make sure we put one on the other side of the little weir right there, because a lot of people fish right there. And make sure, or get with Edwin, and make sure when they do their rounds down there in Glen Island, they're going through the park and they're emptying those, okay?
Yes,
But it's looking kind of bad down there. I had a call over this weekend on it. Okay, thank you.
Back in the building. They down there now.
But make sure that that is the problem, that the gutters need clean. That means they need to set a time, a week, a month, whatever, to make sure those gutters are clean, because that's the floor.
All right, thank you, Jerry.
Okay.
And at this point, board, if you all would allow me to, I'd like to take a point of privilege and bring up Ms. Cox. She has a presentation she'd like to make to this board, if you all would allow it.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Come on up.
The Greenville Cypress Preserve Trust just wants to thank you for believing in us and giving us that wonderful grant. These are just some little goodies for you to have today.
Thank you.
And I want to tell you, I will give any of you a personal tour if you ever want to come to the Cypress Preserve. Yesterday, we toured about 175 people from Viking. So
Oh, wow.
we got our tour together, so just let me know.
That everybody?
Thank you so much.
You got one over here.
Thank you.
There we go.
I'll pass this to
Ms.
Joe.
Griffin, you get one too.
Thank you.
Hey, look, we really do appreciate you all.
Ms. Top?
Yes.
Thanks, so.
We really do.
Enjoy.
We really appreciate you if we can be in for further assistance.
I will be back.
Let Lee know that's his district.
Thank y'all.
All right,
Thank y'all.
appreciate that, board. All right, down here I've got consider serving alcoholic beverages at the Washington County Convention Center for the Greenville Western High School class reunion 2024 class. I guess it is, but it doesn't give me a date there, 20th.
So moved.
I got a motion? And a second. All in favor, show a sign of aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
I got one nay. Motion carries. Okay, and in addition, we actually had Ms. Brooks. We added you for your energy project.
Well, it's not so much an energy project. What it is, Mississippi Development Authority has some funding available, and they very detailed on the projects. I sent it to the county administrator, and hope she can send on to everyone else. It's called the Energy Efficiency Revolving Loan Fund, and what caught my attention with this project, it has a very detailed piece on how you can use this funding. You can go between $15,000 to $500,000. So I'm thinking about the future of the convention center. And also the rate is 2% below the prime rate fix. So I like that. And they give you a 10-year time limit to pay it back. And you can use it to so much from retrofits and energy design process development. So it's something I think we need to put, have out there that we may want to use this funding in the future, dealing with the convention center or any other energy project. And I just want to put it out there for the board's attention. Once we identify what projects we may want to use this project to apply for the funding of this particular loan to do this particular project, any project dealing with energy.
All right.
I do have one thing, Carl.
I'm sorry.
I wonder if we could use that on this AC stuff. I'm sure we could.
I'm not sure. What I do, I'll send the flyer out to
Okay.
everyone, and so everyone can,
That'd be
you can
good
make
if
calls,
we could
something.
use it on that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And we had Ms. Carter. Hold up, where's Ms. Sear go?
He's talking to the attorney right now.
Charlize, would you send that flyer to everybody on the
Ready for him
board?
if you ready to go. So I got this, where is it? This Avalurium thing down here.
Good morning.
USG Avalurium tax abate.
Got several things for the board this morning. Have an exemption request from USG in the amount of $1,021,211 on equipment that they have brought in on last year. They are requesting a 10-year exemption on this property. I ask the board to approve this exemption at this time.
When last year did they get it? When last year?
I don't know when exactly in 2023, but the completion was done in 2023,
Why are they just submitting it now?
because this is the proper time.
The statute says as long as the submission is done by April 1 of the next tax year, they can get it for the past year.
And what kind of equipment is it?
It's a floor scrubber, a pneumatic tire lift truck, another pneumatic tire lift truck, another pneumatic tire lift truck, another forklift, air wire guide, converted rice hull system to handle starch. All amounts to $1,021,211.
Any other questions? Not, I need a motion
Motion.
to approve?
Yep.
Need a- And a second. All in favor, show a sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Show Supervisor Redmond away from the seat.
Have another exemption request from Uncle Ben's, known as Mars Food USA. This request is for a 5-year exemption. It's in the amount of $2,380,091. Apparently they have missed several years of making these requests, so they're only requesting a 5-year on this exemption request. These machinery items are some type of camera, pilot retort controller, water tanks, merge conveyors, accumulation conveyors, in-feed conveyors, case packer, discharge conveyor, spiral, palletizer, accumulation conveyor to palletizer, in-feed conveyors, palletizer, 6-count case printer, office furniture, and amenities.
Yeah, Lee.
Just to put things in perspective too, these big numbers throwing out there, when you say $1 million, that's in reality, what is that costing the county? That's not $1 million hard cash. I mean, I know you'd have to figure that out, but just, could you get in the ballpark?
It would take me some time.
Yeah, but I'm just clarifying, like I say, it's not like we're missing out on,
No,
yeah.
you're not-
That's just the value of the equipment and what we'd appraise the equipment at, so I got you, okay.
Ms. Griffin?
Yeah, Ms. Sears, I was gonna ask you about Uncle Ben because they sent it to me just last week.
Right.
Okay, and I then referred it to you. Did y'all get a chance to go out and inspect?
I have
it?
not had a chance to
Okay.
do that as of yet.
Now, because of the amount of time,
Right.
they have had this equipment for some time, okay? I would recommend that we actually eyeball it
Okay.
and bring it back at the next meeting. I had told Camden Long that we would likely consider it at the mid-month meeting, okay?
Okay, all right,
So,
that's fine.
and
Yeah, because there's several of
yes,
them.
yes.
We
So
wanna
I would
hold that one-
recommend that we postpone consideration of that one.
Until the next meeting, till we lay our eyes on it.
All in favor, as this motion, Lee?
So moved.
And the second?
Now, what's the motion?
To postpone it till 2 weeks till he puts his eyes on it, but he had told Campbell Delone, he said, it'd probably be mid-June anyway, so, okay.
All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Ms. Sears?
I have a request for a refund of a homestead chargeback due to a social security number error being made in the assessor's office in 2001. This letter serves as a request to refund the 2023 homestead chargeback in the amount of $270 that was assessed to Mary Hood due to her social security number being entered erroneously by someone in the assessor's office. This error was found when the person with that social security number in fact received a chargeback and Ms. Hood was charged with it. Her homestead has been on file since 2001 with the wrong information on hand. The social security number read 425. I'm not gonna give the whole thing. 425.
We'll take your word.
Okay, all right.
Any of it.
I have a
No,
question.
any of it.
Yes, ma'am.
You said it's been like this since 2001.
Yes, ma'am.
So has she had any other chargebacks?
No, there's never been a chargeback. The person with that social security number did in fact receive a homestead chargeback, and Ms. Hood was charged with it because she had the
Just for
actual
only
social-
1 year?
Yes.
Y'all corrected that, correct?
Yes, we have made that correction in our office, and we're requesting that she be refunded her
So moved.
$270.
Got a motion? I need a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. That's unanimous, Ms. Holmes. Anything else, Ms. Sears?
Yes, sir. I have a notice to increase the assessment of real and personal property. This is on Columbus and Greenville Railroad. As you may recall, I notified the board that Columbus and Greenville Railroad was under appeal. This is a public utility. I finally got those numbers in over the last week, and I worked it up, and the amount comes to $930,000. So I'm asking the board to increase the roll to make this change, and so that they can be billed for the proper amount of taxes due for 2023.
So moved.
Got a motion? I need a second.
For the information.
I got a
What
second.
was that
Point of
initially
information.
billed for?
They had not been billed because they were under an appeal, so no bill had been generated for 2023.
Okay, what was the amount for the year before?
I have to get that information.
Is it close to that number?
It was close to that, yes, ma'am.
Any other questions? You good, Ms. Brooke? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Have a petition for reduction of assessment on D.L. Goodman's. This is a store that's downtown on Washington Avenue. This is due to an error made on Mr. Stewart's rendition for his inventory report by his CPA was incorrect, and he has provided a copy of his Form 1040 with the right inventory amount, and therefore we are asking the board to correct this amount.
What was initially reported?
Initial report was $145,232,
And he broke it down to what?
and the amount should have been $23,488.
Any other questions?
That's on the store itself,
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's the inventory.
the inventory
inventory.
inside the
Yes, sir.
store?
Yes, sir.
That's all that's there?
Yes, sir. They don't have much.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
Any other questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. That's unanimous, Ms. Owen.
This is for a homestead correction.
Very.
On a Mr. Charlie Gaines. We're requesting to amend Mr. Charlie Gaines' 2024 tax, not statement, couldn't be 2024 tax statement.
Not yet.
No. Requesting to amend Mr. Charlie Gaines',
You sure you want to do that?
well, it's saying tax statement because he became disabled in April of 2023. It must mean 2023 tax statement. He should be allowed disability homestead for 2024.
So moved.
I got a motion, and I got a second, Mr. Attorney.
Yeah, you know, if he's timely 5, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
All in favor? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That's unanimous, Ms. Owen.
This is on a Mr. William Ayers. This is another homestead correction. Requesting to amend Mr. Ayers' 2023 tax statement because he became disabled in August 2022. He should be allowed disability homestead for tax year 2024.
So
What?
moved.
I got a motion?
So he's just requesting for upcoming.
Yes.
Yes.
Got a motion and a second? Any other questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, so I'm gonna hold these other exemption requests out.
Now, here's the thing, Mark. If they timely file, you don't have to request permission from the board
Well, we,
to amend those.
oh, okay, I got you.
You can administratively amend them as long
I
as they
got you.
timely file.
I got you. Understood.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Seer.
Yes.
Okay.
One other thing. Mr. Seals has provided the board a complete copy of all of the exempt properties in the
Okay.
county, and I asked the board to just receive that report, and we'll look at it. Okay.
So
Everybody
moved to receive.
All right, got a motion to receive and a second. I got, thank you, Jerry. Everybody understand?
I have a question.
Come on.
Now you said to look at, who's gonna look at it?
Each one of them.
Yeah, the board members can look at it. We don't, and I think board members and everybody needs to scrutinize and decide whether or not it's proper or not.
Question, will the tax assessor be looking at it as well?
Oh, he got it.
Yes.
That's where it came from.
I know you printed
Right.
it, but I'm saying, will you be going back and
Yeah.
scrutinizing it
Well,
as well?
let me explain the nature of the letter to Mr. Sear. We asked Mr. Sear to examine the tax roll to determine whether or not there ought to be any property that he recommends.
That's right.
Deleted as exempt and added back to the regular tax roll. Okay? And you still looking at that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is that the list you got in front of you?
Now, this is just.
That's a long list. Yeah, it'd take a little while to go through that.
But this just a list of everybody's exempt, am I correct?
That's a,
And you're
yeah.
gonna go back through this too, to ensure.
I have gone through it already and looked at it, and we have actually cleaned up some stuff that recently changed over and missed some exempt codes on. We put it back on the tax roll.
So that's not in there then. If you the ones you've cleaned up, that's the ones that's the ones that's actually exempt right now.
That's right.
Okay, so you've went back already went through them and cleaned up. Okay.
So we're
gotcha.
gonna go back,
When you clean it up, you gotta give notice to the owner.
Probably on how much?
Okay?
Well, no, I mean, these are properties that were purchased from Cerula, you know, and, so it had an exempt code on it still, just recently. So we made that correction for this upcoming roll.
talk about those.
I have a question.
Seal notification.
With Cerulo, why would he have exempt codes? And it's
Way before his time.
it's a private company, not a public company.
Well, I've been in discussion with Mr. Griffin about that as well. Can I get it to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Okay. So these were properties that were leased to the hospital, and because the hospital is an exempt entity, they held the lease.
Told
The
y'all
properties
that
were
that's what it was.
I would go along with that, but from my understanding, they were not purchasing lease to own. They were only leasing it, but Cirillo still owned the property. He made money off the property. So my question would be, why is it that he got that exemption when he was making a profit off the hospital?
And Mr. and I talked, was thinking about that very question that you raised, when he was calling the board. We don't have a more detailed discussion on that.
Okay.
So, and we can assure you by the next board meeting, we'll have an answer, to that question, because that is certainly, an issue we need to resolve.
Right.
My other
And-
concern
and-
is
and-
that
Go ahead, Ms. Go ahead, Ms. I'm
all
sorry.
I'm gonna say, and the reason why I ask, because of situations like that, we may have other situations going on that being exempt, they probably should not be exempt. And that's why I asked, are you going through this exempt list to scrutinize, ensure that, everyone's paying dollars back to the county that should be paying?
That's the reason that
Now, I understand you promote it, I'm saying, but are you gonna go back through it? Okay, that's my biggest
Yeah,
concern.
yeah. Now, Mark, to make sure that the board is clearly understand, the decision to place assets or properties back onto the tax rolls that were exempt is a responsibility of your office, right?
correct.
And not the board. So we do have to look, excuse me,
But in addition to that, we have to look at the amount that's passed due in prior years on those properties.
how many years?
7.
Oh, Lee?
All I'm asking, I would like a hard copy too, if I could get a hard copy of that.
So, okay,
Yeah.
we'll print your copy.
Yeah, I'd like to have it laying out in front of me
Does
when I look.
anybody else?
Make a copy for all board members, thank you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And it ain't gotta
But
be
keep in
done, just when
mind,
you get it,
and
let
I'm
me
gonna say this, this conversation hadn't gone any further than this board, but now you're broadcasting, you're wide open.
Tax issues.
Okay. And the reason I say that, everybody understand the negotiation position that we're in, trying to get some things resolved.
Well, the critical thing is, if we decide to change any property from exempt to non-exempt, then it's critical that we notify those taxpayers, because they have a right to appeal it to this board.
Right.
This board, I recommend will refer, Mr. Sears make a recommendation to the board. But during that process of making that recommendation, those taxpayers are entitled to be notified, and they have a right to appeal it to this board, okay? If they disagree with the recommendation of
Okay.
Mr. Sears.
All right. Anything else for Ms. Sear?
That's it.
Mark, we appreciate you.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you now. Okay, 9:45. Ms. Carter?
We have expended 67.2% of our budget through June 3rd compared to plan of 75%. Total receipts deposited May 17th through the 30th total $1,754,490.95. I am requesting board approval of our claims docket totaling $564,477.92.
Motion?
So moved.
And a second. Thank you, Jerry. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That's unanimous.
This court judges are requesting travel to their annual State Justice Court Judges Summer Convention on July 13th through the 18th in Biloxi, Mississippi, with estimated cost of $5,896.63 with lodging and registration paid in advance.
So moved.
I got a motion?
Second.
And a second. And this involves some certification, right, Judges Conference?
Yes.
All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. That's unanimous. Need a motion? And a second. Thank you, Jerry. Second, Jerry. Thank you. Thank you.
I do have a question.
All right, go ahead.
I don't think this is one of them. Is this I can't remember, is this one of the bridges we had problem with the way the bidding process went? Mr. Attorney, was this one of them?
No.
We had 2 bridges, we had a problem with that.
Oh, this bridge is almost complete. This bridge is almost complete.
I know, no, I'm just talking about when we had the discussion. We had 2 of them that the attorney discussed some stuff with us on the bidding process.
I think it was just one, but
It was only this one?
Yeah, but we moved on.
Yeah, no, I just was, yeah, just back in the question, I was just
Yeah, you're right.
asking the question because I was voting no against that because the way it was
We
bidded.
be
Okay.
voting yay sometime.
All right, all in favor? All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
I got 1 nay.
How you
Motion
feel
carries.
that day?
Thank you, Ms. Carter.
Either or, how you feeling in the morning?
Requesting payment in the amount of $93,818.25 to T.L. Wallace Construction for pay number 2 for work completed for the Black Bayou Port Association project.
And their engineers checked off on that?
Yes, this is actually a payment that was missed back in February.
Okay. All right, so moved.
Got a motion? And a second. Questions? Everybody understand? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The Mississippi State Extension Service is requesting their annual payment of $16,000 that is allocated to the Washington County 4-H program.
Motion?
So moved.
And a second. Probably moved and seconded. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
We need to ratify the change order for the convention center's HVAC system in the amount of $4,900. The order was to provide and install a thermostat with a remote sensor, which is what Jeremy mentioned today, which was needed before the system could be operational.
So moved.
Got a motion? And a second. Questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Commissioner DeKeeper Stamps, for the Central District is requesting to change the use of the supervisor's meeting room from Monday, June 17th to Thursday, June 27th at 5 p.m. for the public hearing regarding the Grid Solar facility.
So moved.
Got a motion?
Second.
And a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
What is
Ms.
this
Carter,
again?
please remind us. Greer Solar Project south of the county. This is a public service commissioner who has to hold a public hearing here in Washington County. He wants to use this room in order to do it. He's moved it from the 17th to the 27th. Yeah. And everybody will get notice in case, just especially the supervisor who's,
Yeah, district C.
yeah, y'all need it. And anyone else. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Requesting approval of the 2024-2025 proposed budget calendar for the upcoming fiscal year budget process.
Everybody see the calendar, you got an email on it, the proposed dates.
And it can be changed.
Yeah.
So moved.
Motion to
What's
accept?
the calendar?
Huh?
What's the calendar?
It's July. Oh, my goodness, we'd have to get it to you.
I put it in the report as well.
Well, we do need to, we starting when?
Because the tax assessor has to come the first meeting of July to even present numbers. Once I get those out, input what I have to input. So looking at July 17th, 24th, 31st for budget session. And then that final budget review after August 15th.
So my concern is, I know we talked about raising millage.
That's why I added another budget.
Okay, good. And it'd be good if we start getting some of those numbers, because I know we're looking to raise millage to pay our employees a higher salary.
Yeah, but
That's what I'm saying, but I'm saying we
I'm
need
not
to start
voting for
having
that.
those, just so we can start having those conversations,
wrong with
put
having the
those numbers
conversation.
together.
Yeah.
Sir?
nothing wrong with having the conversation.
No, I'm just saying, I'm putting it on out there because I hadn't heard any speak of it, and department heads need to understand. Well, not so much as, I mean, we looking at the millage and seeing where we are and what we can and can't do. Because they can submit a number to us. If we just can't do it, we can't do it. But I think we do need to start looking at those numbers so we can be comfortable on where we can go in the future with increasing salary because the cost of living has gone up.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Ms. Carter? Everybody need to vote to accept the, schedule?
Yep. So
Got a,
moved.
got a motion?
You already have a motion.
All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. It's not cast in stone, so we can make adjustments to it.
The Greenville Youth Soccer Association is requesting approval to renew and extend their lease at the Sportsplex for 1 year, commencing on August 1st, 2024, and ending on July 31st, 2025. The quarterly payments are $3,300, total annually $13,000.
So moved.
Got a motion? Thanks, Jerry. And a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries.
I also have some more pay requests that came in from Andrew. The first one is from reimbursement to the Greenville Cypress Reserve Trust for $1,644.43. And this was for them filing for their UEI number and a replacement of benches that they paid for.
Say that again now.
The requestment for reimbursement for the Greenville Cypress Reserve.
Oh, the 20-something thousand dollars. Okay, they didn't get all that at one time, they're just
No, as they make.
request.
purchases,
They get
make
reimbursed.
Okay, so it's just reimbursement, rather, okay.
I got a motion?
Second.
And a second. Any other questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Also have a request, for payment to Heflin Engineering, and this is for work completed for the MCWI Black Value Opera Improvement Project for $2,400.
So moved.
Got it? Now you second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Show Supervisor Benson wait a minute, seat.
I do have a question about that when she gets done, though.
Okay.
Just to,
Only other thing I have are a couple of reminders. Delta Council's annual meeting will be held on June the 7th at 10:30 in Cleveland, Mississippi, at Delta State Malone Performing Arts Center. The Fourth Circuit Intervention Court is requesting your attendance to their 2024 drug court graduation ceremony on June 17th at 2 p.m. at the Convention Center.
What time?
2 p.m. Whiskers 2024 Food Festival will be held on July 28, 2024 from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Convention Center. Tickets are $15 per person.
That's it?
Do we get a table for that?
Which one? Which
I-
one?
For the whisker thing, do the county
we
ever
normally do.
No, we
Nope.
can, but we don't.
I
They've
thought
done
we
it different.
always did. We paid
Well,
for it.
keep
and
in
it's-
mind, well, I think last year they had tables or sit down with, before when COVID was going, it was a drive-through. and that
Yeah,
kind of
that's
thing.
right. Yeah, yeah.
So are we
But
gonna
if-
get a
if yes,
table
the
this year?
request, We'll check it out.
I think it usually do.
We'll check it out.
I do have a question.
Okay.
We was talking about the water. How'd your, on some of your water issues go, with Golden Acres, did they ever get finished with theirs?
Yep.
And what about,
Metcalf, no.
Metcalf now?
Uh-uh.
Did Winterville?
Yes.
They got done theirs?
Yeah, but they still have a meter project they gotta put together and get that resolved.
Well, their big concern was their well, wasn't it?
Got it
They got
done.
that concern, they got
Yes.
that fixed?
Got it done,
Good. Good deal.
yeah. All right, Ms. Holmes, it's on you. All right. Chief?
Good morning.
Good
Hey.
morning.
The only thing I have to bring to you all is we're back at this four-wheeler situation. And we do have some people who have requested, like Paul Love Park and Warfield. It has gotten to the point where these people are saying that the board approved them to ride these four-wheelers in the park. And again, I say, if that's what you all want, that's fine, you know. But we are trying to get you all to help us. If you don't want them riding it, just let them post some signs saying no four-wheelers riding, because we're going to enforce it if they get on those streets.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
all right. Now, you said in the park, then you said on the street.
Well, in the park,
In the park right now, we had to get it, a prior board order. ATVs were to be trailered to the park and used on the ATV trail only. It has gotten lax, and people have been able to go from, like, if they were camping out, had an RV, get on their ATV and ride over to the trail. Tenants were able to leave their RV on their ATV and ride it across the park to the trail. But people riding into the park on an ATV, no. You have to come on a public road a county road to do that, that's against state law. We have not made any changes to any of that.
So how, so what you're saying is that if they bring it to the park and they going to the site of whatever the event they're having, it's okay for them to drive it from there across to,
The park. If they actually
So-
come in on situations like that, you'll be notified.
yeah, well, I'm just trying to see how we're gonna govern the others if they're allowed to do that. And then that Joe Blow coming in and say, where they riding theirs?
No, we have to talk, let me get the original agreement from the board, the original motion. Board order, Lee.
I think.
Because liability.
Yeah.
all right?
Yeah.
I mean, we have sat here and witnessed some of these people turn these things over with children on it.
Yeah.
And I thank God that it wasn't as ugly as it could have been. I'm talking about 3 of them on it and it just flipped with a juvenile driving. And you know, this is the problem that we're having.
Now that happened in a local town, local community, right?
It happened at Warfield Point Park.
I'm not familiar with that one, not at all.
Well,
Go
I
ahead.
am, because I
All
was
right.
out there
All right.
When was this?
about 3 years ago.
Oh, no, okay. Lee?
Oh, now, what you're saying, if they bring it to the park,
On a trailer.
hold on, then they can go directly to the trail.
Yeah.
You're not saying riding around in the park.
No,
So
if
he's
you-
talking about going to the trail, the designated trail for it. I think the deputy chief's talking about something, you're talking about riding around the park. So we're talking about two different things here.
Yeah.
And
If-
then, yeah, because the problem I'm seeing too, and I don't know how you get there, or you're right, some young children driving some of these things, and then some people showing out on them and doing the, it don't take but just a couple bad apples to just mess up something for everybody. And, and then you have to look at every park that I go to across this country, people, they have golf carts out there and they ride around slowly. So you'll be getting some of that, say, well, they can ride the golf cart,
No.
So, and I think, I personally, I think that's fine, because like I say, every park I've ever went to. But there's gotta come a point too, the sheriff was talking about, there's people just abusing this completely out there at these parks. And, but I think he's talking about a different situation. I think he's just talking about directly going to that trail. You bring it in on a trailer, and when you get it off, you're not riding it around, you're going directly to the trail that's
You park
designated.
down
Is
by
that
the-
right?
You park down by the ATV trail.
Yeah,
there
and go
watch
directly to the
everything.
trail. No riding in
In
the
the
I
park.
have a question.
No.
What about the people that are
Yes,
they're renting
that was the exception.
and they're bringing
That's what he's talking
ATV
about,
with
yeah.
them?
Yeah.
That was the exception.
Yeah.
Now,
That-
let me do this. I'm gonna have to double check and make sure, but there was always a county employee on the grounds during the times that the gate was open for the public.
But it is like that, isn't it?
I've gone out
It should be
there.
like that.
It should be like that. So let me pull the guidelines, the rules, and have a conversation with Jeremy about the necessary staffing to make sure the park has an attendant during the appropriate hours.
Well, can you have them pulled by this weekend, because there's gonna be a large gathering down at, Paul Love Park. They got the Glen Island Homecoming, and it's a big event. I mean, people come from everywhere.
But I thought we addressed that issue
Yep.
already when y'all came to the last board meeting.
Well,
But, yeah.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and we did, there's no
just-
riding in the park.
I'm just telling you that, there's people putting up stuff on Facebook, and they're kind of trying to challenge law enforcement.
Yeah.
No, they're
you know,
strictly illegal.
Well,
And we'll
just
make,
asking for you all to help us.
Yeah,
All right.
no
Because
doubt.
we're gonna do our job. We're gonna do what we have to do.
enforce the state law.
Yeah.
And they can't be in the park with ATVs. Number one reason is you have a gathering of people and somebody get into the crowd
Exactly,
and the equipment get away from them.
exactly.
Can't have it. No, our Paul
And
Love
that
Park
has
is not
also
set up for
happened out
that.
here at the convention center
Yeah.
as well. So,
Okay,
that's it.
we'll have to, go ahead, Greg, I'm sorry.
Board member, what are we gonna do, and I think the chief made a valid point about these minors operating these vehicles without parental supervision. And I think we could do something to restrict minors from doing that without parental supervision, in the park, okay? Because that is too dangerous. I lost a real dear friend of mine who was on there with his child,
So it's an adult driver?
Yeah.
Okay, it wasn't a
But
child.
these minors will work.
Well, I would say this here, Mr. Griffin, now, let's be clear now, 4-H has an ATV training. Maybe we may wanna enforce the 4-H ATV training. The gentleman, I can't think his name, he came before us on it, and I talked about the last board meeting he came on, we may be having some, restriction on if you're a minor, and you, really the adults need to take you too, but more so with the youth, they are riding, and some of our safe riders. I've seen some. I got a little neighbor, little 8-year-old, and can handle it. He don't speed, he don't run out. Nobody and our neighbor, we don't make a big fuss out of it because they're very safe. But I would like to see our youth go through that 4-H ATV training just for safety and really for adults, but to kind of make it mandatory on how we can create some legislation like that. Because I will say this right here. We do have more young people riding. When I was young, I rode ATVs. It wasn't a big to do. It wasn't that popular in certain communities, but now it's popular all over Washington County. So I don't want to take anything away from kids that stop them from being idle, making bad decisions. When I did it, it was so much fun. We had fun, and I don't want to take this away from this next generation, but let's identify how do we make it safe, because I was very safe. I didn't go through ATV training. Actually, some of my little white friends wanted to taught me how to ride in the 9th grade. And I had a lot of fun, but again, the more important piece is, how do we identify safety and instead of taking away from our youth? Because just because you're young don't mean you know how to ride, because I know some adults that ride and don't know how to ride.
Well, I'm glad to know that you're putting emphasis on youth, but grown folk who ride those things cannot ride them. Okay,
I agree. I'm agreeing with you.
And then all I'm simply saying, I'm simply saying, is that the burden of those people riding that ATV in no park is gonna come back to you all.
Okay.
Not us.
Board, if it's okay, I'll go ahead and have the road department put up no ATVs in the park at Paula before Friday.
Thank you. Sheriff.
I heard you say that, Paul Love Park. I don't think you need to just put it on Paul Love Park. Out there at Warfield Point Park, they got a trail out there where they can ride it.
Right.
But we got an event coming up in July.
Yeah.
Out there. And they gonna have, only thing that they can ride them. It's fine with me. They can't ride them on the road. We know they can't ride on the road. I can enforce it on the road.
Right.
But they have to have y'all for the force in the park. And
Okay.
I'm not telling y'all to put that enforcement in everything here. But I want to let you know that, I don't want everybody coming to and saying, well, it's the sheriff doing this and that. The law say that you can't ride four-wheelers on county roads and state roads.
You're just enforcing the state law.
He's talking about on county property.
But he said the county
Yeah,
road.
but I'm just saying, y'all make the decisions on the parks and everything here. I don't want to be the one to make it on there. But if you make it in the park, we will enforce it.
All right, good enough.
But we had a right to enforce it on county road without your stuff.
Good enough. All right, so we'll have that up for Paula Park this weekend, and he's absolutely right. And I'm gonna say this to this board: a golf cart is not an ATV, and there's a little difference. But when you have different events like what they're talking about, Paula, one coming up in Warfield, you can actually control the use of that equipment, especially when you have a lot of pedestrian traffic and crowds. So you make sure that people don't get hurt if that equipment was to get away. But we'll do that immediately.
I agree with you on that, because
Please.
if you have an event and you have a crowd, let's say we do have a trail ride, I think we should be very detailed on where you cannot ride the ATV on the park, especially if it's a group, but it's a location where you can ride the ATV with the
Okay.
at the
and-
Warfield Park.
and I will
that
say-
way there's safety across the
Yeah.
board if there is an event.
Let me say something now. A trail ride is something that our laws and what our guidelines have not adjusted to just yet. Trail rides are just that. It's a ATV club or several of them who may get together and may want to rent the park. And you have to take that into account. Of course, you have to have controls in place so don't tear things up. But a trail ride, 70%, 50% or 70% of the participants will have ATVs. And that'll cause for special guidelines if the board would approve a trail ride to happen in either one of the parks. Just have that in mind. Right now, we don't have anything to control it. other than just completely banning it. When I say control it, a trail ride is ATVs, and you have to have some leniency when they come into those parks. Lee?
Just to make sure, I know we probably do it at Warfield, any large gathering like that, even at Paul Love, we need not only the sheriff, we need to have an employee down there working that day just for other problems. And a lot of the stuff they can kind of curb, and then if they have problems, they can call the sheriff too and say, hey, we've got a problem down here. But I think we need, on any large gathering, we need to have, whether, and again, Paul Love's just a small part, but we need somebody working that day. Jeremy needs to have somebody work down, or maybe two down that day.
How big is the park?
Paul Love? If I had to guess, probably 10 acres, maybe 12 acres, something like it, 10 acres. I would say it's about a quarter of Warfield Park, maybe, something like that.
All right, but I'll get with Building and Grounds, and we'll talk about that staffing. We'll also get an inventory on the assets that we still have for the ATV training and that kind of thing, and we'll touch base with 4-H. But immediately we'll get the signs into Paul Love Park unless the board has some concerns.
Do we have any board orders or ordinance to regulate these ATVs over here in the park?
There should be one from a previous board order where ATVs were not allowed into the park area. They were only allowed on the trail. There was the exception was if you were camping and you had an ATV with your RV hookup, or whether you were on a tent site camping out, you could move the ATV from your campsite to the trail. But you could not be cutting donuts, tearing up property, destroying things, that kind of thing. Couldn't be reckless.
Can we pull those ordinances so we can review them and
It'd be difficult. We'll give it a try. Otherwise, we have to make our own up-to-date ordinance. And I prefer we did something up-to-date.
Well, it'd be good if we look and see what's already on the books.
All right, we'll do that. We'll try to search it and see what we can come up with. Anything else on this one? All right, do I need a motion in order to put the signs up? Y'all let me roll with that one.
Roll with it.
All right. Ms. Carter, you good? Chief, y'all good? All right. Now we've got a public hearing at 10 o'clock. Public hearing for input, objections, decisions on Washington abandoned, Trailer Park Road? Trailer Park Road, Lee?
Yes, Trailer Park Road, yes.
It's a road or some road?
It's a road. How should we do this, Mr. Attorney?
you can open it up, open the hearing up, call it hearing order, open it up, and see if there's any
Okay. It's now 10:09, and we're going to open the meeting up for a public hearing to discuss any objections against the decision for Washington County Board of Supervisors to abandon Trailer Park Road. If there's anyone here who would like to be heard, it's 10:09, and we're about to go into a public hearing to discuss the abandonment of Trailer Park Road.
Like you're going
So,
east.
any citizens who
Right before you
have
cross the bridge,
concerns
right to the
about
right.
Trailer Park
Right.
Road,
It just goes from there.
you may be recognized now.
I got a question. Where is Trailer Park Road?
If you pass Riverside School,
I need it outside.
headed east on Riverside Road, it will actually be the first road you come to the right before you cross the number 9 canal right there. And what it is,
Leave
it
it
just
open.
runs
So-
to Possum Ridge Road. There's nothing
I
on
need
it.
an announcement
and
hallway.
the
Sorry.
owner owns both sides. And we hadn't done anything to it. I've never remember doing anything to it. It's just usually, nobody uses
So
it.
is it in the middle of farming or something?
Yeah, it's on farmers on each side.
Can you give me 3 calls in the hallway, Chief? Yeah. Abandonment of Trailer Park Road. If I don't do it,
And
the
how
attorney.
long is the road?
If I had to guess, somewhere between a quarter and a half mile long, something like that.
Hey.
Maybe a little longer, maybe a little longer. But the Davises, I think the one that farm both sides.
We're going to get into executive session. Yep. All right. The floor is now open. Anyone present have any concerns, any issues about the abandonment of Trailer Park Road? Anybody? No. There obviously is nobody. Do I have to say it 3 times, Griffin? There's nobody there. Do y'all?
You're supposed to say it 3 times, but it is
All
what
right.
it is.
Yep. What's that, Ms. Bernadine? And we do have proof of publication that we were holding this hearing this morning. It's 10:11 now.
Recommend to close the hearing.
All right, I got a recommendation that I close the hearing. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
And a second? All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Public hearing is now closed for the abandonment of Trailer Park Road. And hearing no objections, we'll go ahead and entertain a motion to.
Make a motion to abandon Trailer Park Road from Riverside Road to Possum Ridge Road.
Everybody understand? And I got a second, Supervisor Benson. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, so Supervisor Ribbon waiting his seat. Okay, that was a public hearing, my goodness. And now let me do, well, we're gonna go around now. Lee?
Oh, did you ever, we need to follow up on the septic system out at the racetrack. Did you ever follow up on that?
No, let me do
See
that.
if you can
I
follow
called, and because I go see Jeremy today about the inventory.
All right, that's all I have.
All right, Tommy?
No, I do wanna know when we gonna cut grass, you know, grass getting pretty high on
Side of the road.
the side of the road.
Yeah, they're cutting already, but right now, if I had to guess, I think they're still south of town, probably up around District 4 right now. Let me find out where they are, because we got everything up on the north end. Dang, if they ain't got y'all, that's a different group. All right, we'll find out. South, yeah, okay. What you call that long what?
Yeah, well, you know, we got two new tractors, two new side cutters.
All right, we'll find out. Okay, that was it, Tommy? Ms. Brooks?
Just to follow back off of Bishop Benson said, we may want to think of, you know, I know we folks been getting 2 new people to do seasonal, and we may want to just start looking to see how can we break it up into maybe we have one crew standing north side of the county and one standing southern part of the county. That way it won't be so much, you know, by the time they make it to District 1.
I think that's what I think they halfway try to do that now.
Yeah,
I
seasonal workers
I
for
think,
grass cutting.
yeah, I think they try to, and maybe then if they hire the seasonal, maybe they move around a little, but I think they've got a dedicated north, dedicated south.
No.
What they're supposed to be.
I was explained that they go in bunches, and they do everybody at one time, but by the time they make it back to District 1 or District 4, the grass is extremely high, and I think we may wanna look at possibly, you know, section out, you know, this one group does the northern part, and the other group just do the southern part. That way, you know, we can keep our grass maintained at a couple steady pace.
All right.
It's just something to think about.
Can they spray the grass?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to spray in my district. I don't like no brown grass.
What happened, we talked about a spraying program. We actually attempted it. And like Ms. Brooks it's not just spraying. Now you got crops coming up. It's too late. You have to do a pre-emerge like in January, early in the year. And that's how a spray program would be effective now. It would kill or stunt most of the wild grass and let certain type grasses grow. Well, it won't require as much cutting. They do have chemicals that you can actually spray on grass, and it retards the growth. It'll make it kind of go out, but it won't grow so high, so fast.
Or if we did it to the ditches, you know, you cut the ditch real low and then go spray it, and then you won't have to go back so often trying to cut that ditch.
Okay, yeah. I'll get with Mark on the spray program. That's what I'm hearing you all say. And then have him report on it when we see him. He'll have to come to the next meeting since he didn't make today. All right.
I'm not finished.
I'm sorry.
Also, in the month of June, of course, this is Men's Health Month. So I encourage men, don't be afraid. Go to the doctor and get your annual exam. It's okay. A lot of times we have a lot of men, a lot of times it's mostly African-American men, they only go, not all, they only go to the doctor when they're really, really sick. But it's okay to just get an annual exam, especially when you have health insurance and you can do it. Also, this month is also Juneteenth month. Of course, we're very familiar with the celebration of Juneteenth. And it's also PTSD Awareness Month as well. And also, I want to exclude, and also it's Pride Month as well. Thank you.
Jerry?
Well, I'd just like to say thank you all for the participation in the meeting that we had with the state in reference to roundabout. And I direct that roundabout to Glen Avenue. They go roundabout.
Yeah.
But really, I want to say thank you. I thank think we made some progress. The fingers now are pointed at the sheriff on his decision with that four-way stop. Everybody stop. And therefore we'll only have fender benders instead of kidneys.
And that's on 61.
Yeah. Jerry, what about, which ain't my district, but I look at it all the time when I go back, what about the old hospital there? They gonna tear that down? What's the deal with that?
It's in the process. Truck stops supposed to be coming there.
Okay, that'd look better to get that tore down, cause I pass that a lot.
That's a bad piece of property now.
They got a thing now where they trying to get the half pastors out of there, and they gonna flatten that.
Okay.
Local man.
Okay, good,
Truck stop.
good.
I want to go back. So you somebody gonna put a four-way stop at 61 and 12?
No, roundabout, Jerry, roundabout, some traffic control.
We gonna do a four-way stop until we get the roundabout.
On 61.
There's a huge number of
And Highway 12.
deaths over the past number of years, and it warrants some type of traffic control.
And at one time they had a stoplight there, and they had more deaths because you had a situation of people trying to beat the light. And so that's when the state just took it completely away, and it actually they said it did reduce. So you got to think about that. 61 is a straight way, and I think just going back and looking at all the numbers, because they did have a lot of deaths when they had the lights there, and people trying to beat the light.
Well, the state engineer alluded to that and said if you do the,
I think this four-way stop will let you know how far you got to get there.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Just like the one in Leland.
Everybody stop.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what we're looking at until they get the roundabout.
Yeah.
When we get the roundabout, I'm looking for the loser lot of six.
One of the
roundabout.
one of
They
the-
ain't gonna never make it back to Holiday.
all right, Doc.
Now, I just want to put that on out there, sir. I hear what you're saying, but you know they're looking to 4-lane 61 from Leland to
They took that into account.
Warren
They took that.
County.
That's part.
No, from Leland to four-way,
The 4-lane from Leland to Warren County.
from Leland to
October.
I mean, that's phase 1, but the whole phase is from Leland to Warren County.
they could be all quick about that.
Yeah, all that was taken into consideration and shared with the group. And like Jerry was saying, it was a nice turnout, nice gathering. The commissioner came in and they shared a lot of information, brought his engineers with him. Now, board, you know, there was a nice lunch that was provided, and there were some personal expenditures that were spent. I don't have the numbers, I don't know what they were, but I believe Mr. Redmond and Jeremy Smith actually used some of their personal funds, and I don't know how much they were. You know, Ms. Carter, anybody say anything? So what I'd like the board to do is approve if they can produce their receipts for reimbursements. I need a second.
Second.
Let's reimburse what now?
The luncheon. They provided a nice lunch.
Who is they?
Jerry and Jeremy out of their pocket. And the commissioner and everybody else and the people who came, but quite a few citizens came, the school district was represented, and it was an excellent change. I thought the meeting would last maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes. That meeting went on 2 hours, Jerry.
Can we do that? Can we do that? As attorney, can we reimburse that? I'm fine with that as long as he says we can do that.
And what I'm looking to do is give the money to the school district.
A pending Turner's approval.
Yeah.
Okay. A pending Turner's approval. A pending Turner's approval. He got on lockdown
Griffin.
now.
Mr. Griffin.
He ain't gonna be able to answer right now.
Okay.
Well,
He
hey,
gonna
Mr. Griffin,
He gonna give you the wrong answer.
can we,
Yes, I'm sorry.
go ahead. Can we reimburse,
For the luncheon we
Jerry
had.
and Jeremy for the lunch?
Friday.
Jeremy, page one?
Jeremy
Jerry.
and Jerry paid for the lunch.
Out of our pockets.
We can't legally reimburse him.
That's what I was afraid
Well,
of.
he didn't-
They didn't ask for this now. Go ahead.
Oh, I know, but I mean, that's what I was afraid of. We couldn't be able to do that.
No.
All right, the answer is no. What was that, Jerry? He ain't gonna get reimbursed. He planned it so that.
I'm thinking about Jeremy. He an employee of the county.
Doesn't matter, you still gotta get board approval.
I know that.
I would donate $100.
Or give it to Jeremy.
I would just give it.
To
This is off
Jeremy.
the record.
Yeah. And I'll make the rest of it whole.
So I got a question, just for clarity for myself. So we having a reception. The county couldn't pay for a reception, and we having to have someone come speak. I'm just asking.
Prior to.
It depends.
Mhm.
If
And it's talking about, you know, infrastructure. I'm just wondering in the future, just because I've wanted to do something like that.
Right, if you get approved, board approval to have such a meeting, all right? There are limitations on how to, launch it, what, okay? And we have to follow within those guidelines, and you can always call state auditors, and state auditors will let you do it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney.
All right. It's scholarship time, and of course, we have a request from the 100 Black Men of Mississippi Delta for their annual scholarship gala, which is scheduled for June 13th, Thursday evening, 7 p.m., Washington County Convention Center, the 4 meeting rooms. And the request comes with a ask for a waiver of the fees. What's the pleasure?
So move.
Second.
I got proper moved and seconded. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. That's unanimous. All right, right now we got an executive session. We got a contract negotiation, a personnel matter, and what else for executive session?
That's all.
What else you got? No contracts on you, Mr. Attorney? Yes.
All of it that I have, those contracts.
All right, I need a motion to go into closed session, announce our intent for executive session. Need a motion?
So move.
And a second. And a second. Properly moved and seconded to go into closed session. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We're in closed session now. We're going to go into executive session to have contract negotiations and personnel matter. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Let's do personnel matters first.
Okay, personnel matters first. We have been discussing All this candy in there?
All that candy, quit bringing candy. Man, it looked like
All right,
a kid was in this thing.
we're in open session right
Bring it
now.
out before anybody ever looks at
The
it.
only action that was taken was we did go ahead and, y'all ready?
Wait before you go in.
Oh, come out.
I told you to wait before you go in because
Come on.
she said, wait. That what that mean, hold up. Okay? Now, my issue here is, I have.
Not yet. Close it.
government chose Mark Johnson as the road manager. And the second thing was the attorney is going to follow with a letter to Mr. Andrew Smith and ask for all of the county documents. And he has, what, 24 hours to comply? 40 hours to comply, and the board is allowing me to reach out to South Delta, put them on point, and get us some kind of contract agreement set up for them to help us close out these ARPA funds and get this reporting done. Did I miss anything? Nope, that was action. Now I need a motion to recess until. Thought we already did. MML. Wait a minute, wait, whoa, what the hell is that? That's Mississippi Municipal League.
Right.
Ain't that nothing to do with us and that's what supervisor going for. No, we ain't going. You can't afford that.
Who?
No. Don't call me no hater. We can't afford that. Ms. Brooks, you can't. I ain't.
Who told you I had something scheduled?
No, she need a motion to go to MMA.
Who? She don't speak for me. I keep telling you that.
I got a motion in a second. I got two people to wait. It ain't but three of us here now. Y'all gonna do me like that?
Yeah.
All right, I got a motion in a second for Ms. Brooks to attend MML.
Anybody wanna go? That's a motion.
The Mississippi Municipal League for anybody. You know how much money? Anybody to attend. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Jerry said nay with me.
Thank you.
Y'all, now let me do this. We are too strapped. Did you look at the budget today? You can't afford these non-critical expenditures.
It's very
Joanne.
critical.
Come on, Ms. Brooks.
It's very critical.
We're gonna have to tighten up. We're gonna have to find some savings. You wanna get raises? We'll have to do it through
I
savings.
know that we'll find it.
We're gonna find it through
We'll find it.
savings.
We're gonna find it.
All right, I'm serious. We're gonna find it. You don't believe me? I'm gonna show them to you. Without raising taxes. You don't believe that, do you?
Well, we can do that, we can do that.
I'm gonna show you.
Let's boss up.
All right. What'd you say?
I said, I agree with you,
What's
we're
you-
gonna boss up.
Balls up? What the hell is that?
I tell you about it, Mo. We're gonna get some legal. Yeah, so move to
But
recess to.
tell me. Got a motion and a second to recess until the 17th. All in favor, show a sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we're in recess. You all to June 17th.
Yeah.
Do we have,
Boss